Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be finding out what is coming next for you in your love life. And I'm going to be including interpretations for all different types of situations and relationship statuses. So whether you are single with no one particular in mind, or maybe you do have a special someone in mind, or you are even in a committed partnership already, there will be messages and guidance for you in this reading. I also wanted to mention, I am not going to be looking at a specific time frame. So if there is a particular time frame that you guys would like to know about for your love life, for example, you want to know what's going to happen in the next 3 months or in the next year, please feel free to set that intention of the specific time frame you want to know about, and just keep that in mind before you choose your group. So with that being said, let's move on to your reading selection. There are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, and we're going to be using a different tarot deck in each reading. This is technically an oracle deck, but it's based on tarot. But yes, a different deck in each reading, and there's also a different crystal on top of each to help you pick. As you can see, this is what they look like from the back, but in just a second, I'm going to be showing you a card from each deck so that you can get a feel for the front artwork as well. And I'm going to show you guys a different card from each deck. So you could be drawn to the front artwork, the back artwork, the particular card that came out for you, and of course the crystal. So there's a few different factors for you in choosing your group, and you are definitely welcome to pick more than one reading today if you do feel drawn to multiple. There's no need to limit yourself, but without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your stone is Moss Agate, your deck is the Cosma Visions Oracle, and your card is the Cosmic Tree, which is based on the Hermit. Option number 2, your stone is Fuchsite, your deck is the Dive to You Tarot, and your card is the King of Swords. And option number 3, your stone is Carnelian, your deck is the Soul Tarot, and your card is the Moon. Okay, so just in case you guys need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one or ones are calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Moss Agate and the Cosma Visions Oracle, this is going to be your reading about what is next in love for you. So we're going to start off by taking a look at these oracle cards here, and this is going to be a check of your overall energy currently and your current energy towards love. So if what I'm describing here does sound like you and what you're currently experiencing, then keep watching. If not, you may want to try listening to another group. But without further ado, let's get into it. So for group number 1, we have To the Sea, Septarian Nodules, Way Shower, Shake Up the System, Cellular Upgrades. We have Clarity with Citrine and the Sun. And Multidimensional. This is such a cute card. Your soul is multifaceted. Release anything that puts you in a box or feels limiting. And then I also have these 2 oracle cards. So there's going to be a message for those of you who do not have a particular person in mind, and a message for those of you who do. So for those of you who don't have a person, your message is, you make me feel grounded. And for those of you who do have a person, I pushed you away, but I actually need you back. Interesting. And just as I'm showing this card to you guys, the camera timer is at 143. And when this number appears, it means that the message I love you is coming through, because I is 1 letter, love is 4, and you is 3. Very interesting. So let's take a look at these cards. We have the number 7 here, the number 18, and the number 25. So for example, 25 could be someone's age who is significant. 18, maybe. I think some people in that age group do watch these videos, but maybe a bit less of you. 7 could be a life path 7, or maybe someone has a child who is 7, or you could have a 7-year age gap with someone. These could also be dates. For example, July 18th, July 25th. So that could be someone's birthday, or that could be an important window of time for you guys, the 18th to the 25th of July. We do have citrine, which I believe is the birthstone of Scorpio. I think it's at least one of them. And then with the sun here, someone could have their sun in Scorpio, or the sun could also be indicative of a Leo. And then we have the element of earth here. So that could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn person, or the autumn season could be significant for this group. Getting into the meaning of these cards with To the Sea starting off here. Group number 1s, it does look like you have been more in a energy of retreat and reflection for the past while. This card makes me think of someone who is sort of disconnecting with the world so that they can reconnect with themselves. With this compass here, you guys maybe have been putting a lot of effort into reconnecting with your inner compass and reconnecting with your divine guidance and sort of setting your direction for the next chapter of your life. And with the binoculars as well, there's a feeling of looking at your life in the long term. I think you guys are sort of planning the next big chunk of time in your life, like maybe the next 5 years, the next 10 years, really thinking about the next big phase of your life and what you want out of it. I also feel that for some of you, I'm hearing like you're wandering, you're not lost, or not all who wander are lost, but there's this feeling for some of you that as you have moved through life, following your heart and following where your inner compass leads you, it's like you looked up and looked around and realized that the place you ended up is quite different than what you had in your practical plans. Like you were following your heart and realized you ended up somewhere very different than what you had originally planned for yourself. And I don't think we're necessarily like nervous or feel negatively about that. It's more like a, interesting. When I follow my heart, I end up here. So maybe I have to reevaluate some things. Like if my practical plan is not a reflection of what my heart really wants, maybe we have to change our plans a little bit. But yeah, it seems like you guys are getting back in touch with yourself, back in touch with your inner compass. This card here, Way Shower. When I first got this deck, I thought it was Way Shower, and I was like, what's a Way Shower? But no, it's Way Shower. This is a card that makes me think about like your higher calling, looking for your higher purpose. A Way Shower, it's kind of like a light worker, but it's someone who basically embodies the change that they want to see in the world and embodies traits that they would like to see in others, or that they would like to see in humankind in general. So, you know, if they want to see a kinder world, they will embody traits of kindness. If they want to see a more creative world, they will embody traits of creativity. I think you guys get the picture. So I feel like this group has been doing a lot of reflection on what their greater calling is. Like, why did I choose to incarnate on this earth? What am I meant to show to the world? What am I meant to leave behind for the world? Or how am I meant to help the world ascend? How am I meant to help the world advance spiritually? And as it pertains to love, many of you guys maybe are consciously seeking to embody the qualities that you look for in a partner. So you may have your list of like the traits you want in a partner. I want them to be like this and this and this. And you look at that and you strive to become that person as well. If you want an open person, you're striving to become open so that you can become an energetic match to the person you seek. By becoming your ideal self, you are attracting your ideal partner. It's this kind of idea. I actually have Septarian here. It's very cool. This is Septarian. And I have citrine as well. Yep, right here. I have some here. Let's leave them here for the reading because the more the merrier. Yeah, and I love that we have clarity and the sun here. I think that you guys are coming out of this stage with a lot of clarity about what your calling is and how you want to move forward. And not only that, but with the sun, it seems that you feel very excited at this stage in your life. You guys may be receiving a lot of inspiration right now about projects that you want to pursue, things that you want to give your energy to. And it feels like a very exciting and promising time. With Shake Up the System here, you guys may be pursuing a path that is a little bit unconventional or just something that is very different than what you have done up until now. Like you're quite literally shaking things up a bit in your life. And with this cellular upgrades, it does look like you guys are ready to level up in your life. You're ready to take on more challenges and you're ready to welcome more abundance into your life. And citrine is actually a stone that brings in abundance. I just actually got a citrine bracelet for a friend of mine because it brings in wealth, it brings in success in business. So Spirit may be coming through at this time to confirm to you guys that the ideas you have, in terms of projects you want to pursue at this time, they are going to be quite successful. Successful in that they bring you wealth and also in that they bring you joy and that they inspire many others. I think that you guys are very much on track to becoming your best self. Like you are in the process of becoming your best self right now. And I think that as a result of this, you are attracting your best, I was gonna say your best mate. It sounds like animals, but like your best partner, your best companion. I love the cats on this card. You guys might have a cat who is close to your heart here on Earth or on the other side, or you may have several cats who are with you. But cats make me think of independence. You know, like I'm gonna do whatever I want. So you guys may be really cultivating your independence at this time. I think that you're definitely capable of meeting your own needs by yourself. And I also think you're stepping into an energy where you don't really need anyone else's validation. Just you wanting to do something is enough. So maybe in the past you guys would be like, oh, I'm thinking of going on a trip. Should I do that? Like, and you kind of ask people around you, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, should I go on this trip? But now you're just like, screw it. I want to go on a trip. I'm going. You guys maybe have become more comfortable with doing things yourself, traveling by yourself, for example, taking yourself on dates, just doing things alone. I went to a concert alone yesterday and it was awesome. Just becoming your own best friend, taking yourself out, treating yourself, and also feeling very empowered by how much you are capable of doing alone. Like you're capable of doing a lot of projects alone, creating a lot of things alone. You guys could be really enjoying your own company right now. Yeah, and just not needing validation, but it's specifically like when I want to do something, I don't feel the need to run it by a bunch of people and see if they think it's a good idea too. I'm just like, I know that I want to do this. I can feel it, the passion burning in my heart, and I'm gonna go for it. And I think you're also attracting a person who has this independence. So I kind of see you guys in a relationship where both or all parties like are very much just doing their own things. Everyone has their own, I just saw 1133. Everyone very much has their own ambitions and their own goals and their own adventures to go on. So there's like a feeling of, it doesn't mean that you don't depend on each other, or don't lean on each other, but there's just this healthy independence, I think, that all parties have cultivated within themselves. And like everyone has their own goals, which is really nice. We have this message, your soul is multifaceted. Release anything that puts you in a box or feels limiting. So another piece of advice for attracting your perfect partner is to embrace your multifacetedness, to not hide anything away. And I think the sun reflects this as well, because whenever we have solar energy, the sun shines light on everything. The sun shows everything. The sun does not discriminate. It shines everywhere in all directions. So we're really shining light on all of our parts. I think that this group is definitely multi-talented. And I think your calling is something that allows you to use all of your talents, to sort of combine your many talents in a creative way. And like there's a way that you can do them all together and fuse them. Release anything that puts you in a box or feels limiting. So, for those of you who don't have a particular person in mind, the message for you is you make me feel grounded. So I think this is a piece of advice from your spirit guides to look for a partner who makes you feel grounded and safe and secure. I think that when you meet someone who's right for you, you won't feel nervous. I mean, you might feel nervous like leading up to the first date or leading up to meeting them. But as soon as you're with them, it's like you just feel comfortable. You feel like you can be down to earth. You don't feel like you have to put on a show to impress them. And actually, because you feel so safe with them, you can just let out all the different parts of you. So yeah, look for the person who just makes you feel comfortable right away. The right person for you may not give you butterflies because you won't feel nervous around them. It will just immediately feel like safe and normal, like you've known them forever. That's the type of person who is right for you. And then for those of you who do have a person, we have the message, I push you away, but I actually need you back. So someone who has been distant with you might be coming back around, might be warming up to you. But more so, I feel like this is you and your person learning how to be vulnerable and just express when you need closeness. I've been quite guilty of this in my relationships where it's like at the time that I need you most, I push you away. And I think it kind of comes from maybe it comes from not wanting to be vulnerable, or maybe we feel like our emotions are a burden. Our need for attention, our need for comfort, our need for reassurance is a burden. So we just like push the other person away. But there's been a lot of times in my own past where maybe I'm hurting or I feel kind of distant from my person. And what I want more than ever in that moment is like closeness, right? I want to get closer to them. But for whatever reason, I just like shut them out. I think a lot of us can sometimes like shut down when we're going through something, but really what we're craving is closeness. So you and your person could be getting over that fear of just opening up and being vulnerable and saying, look, I'm not feeling great right now. I'm feeling upset about this. I'm feeling scared about this. And I just want to feel closer to you. I think it takes a lot of vulnerability to admit that, you know, like I'm not feeling secure in this relationship. I want to feel closer to you. Help me feel closer to you. Or I need extra reassurance from you right now. It can be scary to say those things. So yeah, I think it's more so that like you and your person are learning how to do this at this time, which is really beautiful. So this concludes the energy check. Hopefully by now, probably if you've watched to this point, then this does sound like you. So let's get into your tarot now, which is technically an oracle deck. And now we're gonna see what is the series of events that is about to unfold in your love life. So we're gonna look at these cards in chronological order. Okay, so what is next in group number 1's love life? What is next in group 1's love life? We have the 7 of Trees, which is the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Entertainer. This is like an original card of the deck, like an archetype. We have the Shapeshifter. Interesting. Woo! The 10 of Lotuses, which is the 10 of Cups. We love to see that. And then we have the 9 of Birds. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Crow, which we have the number 1 here. So this would be the card that corresponds to the Magician. And I'm gonna go get the guidebook because I just want to make sure, since this deck is a little bit different from traditional tarot, I just want to make sure that I have everything right. I believe that the Crow is the Magician. Yes, it is. And then the 9 of Birds is the 9 of Swords. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna use this bottom of the deck energy as sort of like, ooh, okay. Okay, sorry, there's a lot going on right now. I saw the repeating number 1919 and then my phone started going off, and then I was thinking about what I want this bottom of the deck card to represent. I think what we're gonna do in this reading is this bottom of the deck energy will be about your counterpart or what your counterpart wants you to know. And just as I was about to say that, my phone started going off. So it could be a sign that for those of you who don't have a person yet, they are going to be coming into your life very soon. And for those of you who do have a specific person, they will probably be reaching out to you, communicating with you very soon. Maybe they will be texting you, because I think that was text messages that were coming through to my phone. And then 19 is actually the number of the sun. So I think that your counterpart is very excited right now. Especially their higher self is very excited for what is to come for you guys. And with the Crow, the Magician here, I do believe that your person is manifesting you right now. So you and your person are probably manifesting each other, and your higher selves are getting excited because your higher selves can see now the path is laid out for you guys to find each other. I also think that your counterpart wants you to know their belief in you is astronomical. They truly believe that you can achieve anything in this life because you are brilliant, you are very intelligent, and you have a strong willpower that they admire very much. So, crows could also be an important spirit animal for you guys. Crows and cats, I think. So if you see cats or if you see crows, this could be your counterpart's higher self coming through to you. Okay, let's take a look over here at this chronological series of events that we have for you guys. I did want to point out with the Entertainer, you could be an entertainer, or being an entertainer could be a part of your calling that you're about to pursue, or your person could be an entertainer. And with the Entertainer and Shapeshifter, I'm thinking of Hannah Montana. How, you know, she has like her persona as Hannah Montana, and then she has her persona as Miley. So this could be indicating that your person is very different when they're on the job versus when they're in their personal life. When they're out putting on a show versus when they're just being the more natural them. They could look completely different, they could act completely different, but they have very different personas going on. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. And I think that both of you, or all of you, are just like multifaceted individuals. You have a lot of talents, you have a lot of different ways that you can be successful in this life. I also think a message from your counterpart would be that to not stress about what path is going to make you successful, because you have a lot of talents, and they're saying like, I guarantee you that whichever one you commit to, you're going to be successful in it. And maybe something that would help you choose is, which path would you choose if you knew that success was guaranteed for each of them? Because that would prevent you from choosing a path based on what is like practical, so to speak, what makes the most sense, what is most likely to make you successful, which would kind of take you away from looking at it from a perspective of which path makes me the most excited, which one lights up my heart, which one do I feel passionate about. They want you to know that you're so freaking talented, and it's not actually set in stone like which path you have to take. There are many paths for you, and you can be successful in all of them. So if you knew that that was guaranteed, just treat that as a given. That might help illuminate the path that you truly feel the most passionate about. And that's the path that your person wants to see you taking. So, okay, there's a lot coming through, but let's try to go through this like in order. So we're starting off with the Seven of Pentacles here, and what this tends to show is that we are investing in something over time, and we have to be patient and disciplined to see results, and we cannot have instant gratification. The Seven of Trees is an energy where we are showing up for something every day and putting efforts and care and time and energy into it, even though we don't see an instant payoff. And I would even say that if we only have extrinsic motivation for this thing, it's not going to end well. Basically, extrinsic motivation is like your motivation is for some other end goal that you think you will get as a result of this effort, whereas intrinsic motivation is I'm motivated by the actual action of showing up and doing it. So if I can give an example for this, let's say you're taking care of a plant, because very often we do see that on the Seven of Pentacles. If you only have extrinsic motivation to take care of this plant, it would be like all you care about is just when is this plant going to bear fruit. You only get motivation by the idea that this plant is going to bear fruit and you'll get that reward someday. And if that's the case, it's going to get real tiring for you real quick, because on most days, you're going to have to show up for that plant and take care of it and water it and fertilize it and prune it and keep pests away and give it sunlight or whatever, with no instant reward. So if you don't enjoy that process, it will be tough for you. Whereas if you feel motivated by caring for a living thing, for example, if you feel motivated by the therapeutic effect that being around nature has for you, you have intrinsic motivation because you're motivated by the process. You enjoy the process. That is enough for you to show up every day. So this is probably your current energy at the start of this timeline. So when you are on the right path, in love and in general, you will feel this intrinsic motivation. You'll feel motivated to show up every day because you enjoy the process and you don't care about like getting an instant gratification out of it or an instant reward. So that might be something to think about in your career, for example. Like if you have a YouTube channel, are you only motivated by one day I'm going to go viral, one day I'm going to get a lot of views, or are you motivated because you enjoy filming, you enjoy the type of content you're putting out? If you're going on dates, trying to find your partner, are you only motivated by the idea of one of these people is going to be my soulmate and I can get married to them? Or are you motivated because you enjoy the activity of going out and experiencing new places and getting to know someone and having good conversations? If you take away the end outcome, are you still able to enjoy what you're doing? And there's a message of like, if you're only going out on dates and meeting people because you're like, I just want to find the person that I end up with, then dating is going to be hell for you. Like you're not going to enjoy it. Your emotions can be easily influenced if a date doesn't go well, for example. So I guess all of that to say, find an approach that feels good throughout the whole process so that you can keep going in the long term. And there's no right or wrong answer for this. Like if you find that you can't find intrinsic motivation from meeting people through dating apps, if that process is not enjoyable for you, then don't do it. And you don't need to keep doing something just to keep a door open. You don't need to keep doing something for fear that you're going to lose an opportunity, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I really don't like the process of online dating, but I should keep doing it because, you know, maybe my person is out there. No, that's not the message here. The right path for you will be one where you enjoy the whole process, or the process itself is motivation enough for you. So maybe you enjoy going to meetups. Maybe you enjoy going out and engaging in your hobbies, doing activities that you like. If that's a process that you enjoy, then that will be the way that you meet someone. I think you guys get the picture. I hope that I'm conveying it accurately, but the idea is like you don't have to do anything that doesn't excite you, that doesn't motivate you, because that's just a recipe to give up quickly. So invest in things that you enjoy, and invest in things that you can see yourself doing for a long time. Don't invest your energy in things that you see as like a quick fix, as a means to an end, to just get what you want in the end. That is not the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. So this is the first thing that I see you doing, and that is going to help you in your love life. So moving on, now we have the Entertainer. Like I said, some of you guys could be manifesting a partner who is an entertainer for a living, or someone who is very funny, who has an amazing sense of humor, or who gives you amazing experiences. So maybe this person knows all the best places to take you on dates, knows all the best adventures to go on with you. I do think you guys will have a partner who is very fine with like stepping up and taking the lead and deciding what you're gonna do together, deciding where to take you. They like to put on a show, you know, even in the metaphorical sense, even if they're not a literal entertainer for a living, they like to entertain people. They like to put on a show. Maybe this is someone who likes to host parties, or like I said before, they like to plan dates for you. They like to plan surprises for you. They like to take you on adventures, show you new experiences. They really like that. They are a pleaser. Not a people pleaser, but they are a pleaser. They like to please you. They like to show you a good time. They like to make you laugh. If you already have a person in mind, I definitely feel like they're going to be stepping into this energy, and you're about to enter into a phase with them where you are having a blast with them. You are having the time of their life, time of your life, and they're really like stepping up and taking the lead to sweep you off your feet. And then we have the Shapeshifter. So for those of you who this is a new person, I feel like it starts with you meeting them and having all of these exciting dates and exciting times with them. And then moving into the shapeshifter, this is when you start sort of like get to see different sides to them, because we have this multi-dimensional, multifaceted energy. This is where you start to see a different side of them. And I have the feeling that you are going to love this other side of them. In fact, you're gonna love it even more than the version of them that they first present to you, which is amazing. Because, you know, sometimes when we first start seeing someone, you know, we're in the honeymoon phase and everyone's putting their best foot forward. But then when we start to see more of the layers underneath, we're like, oh, so that's who you are. I don't know if we're compatible, or I don't know if I like this. But I feel like for you, it's the opposite. There's this fun, exciting, entertainer version of them that you get in the honeymoon phase. And then when they show you the deeper layers, you're like, holy crap, I love you even more, which is just so awesome. I think you're gonna get to see maybe like a softer, more sensitive side to them, or maybe a more like deep philosophical side to them, or you just get to see more into their passions, or you get to see more how they treat others and how they treat the people in their life, and you just fall in love with them more and more and more, because the 10 of Cups is like your everything you could ever ask for, your ultimate happiness and ultimate emotional fulfillment. So I love that. It's like the more you peel back the layers of this person, the more you fall in love with them. And I think even with the 7 of Pentacles, it's like you're falling in love with the process of getting to know this person's layers over time. So you're not rushing to like rip all the layers off and try to get to the core. Like, are you my soulmate or not? Are you my person or not? Nah. Like, because you don't have that, like, I just want to get to the end goal. You're like in love with the process of getting to know this person. And I feel like you'll even reach a point where you're like, I don't care if you're my forever person or not. I don't care if you're my soulmate or not, because I'm having such a good freaking time with you, and I'm gonna take these positive memories with me forever. I just want to get to know you. I just want to spend time with you. I just want to savor the layers and peel back the layers slowly. Like, you fall in love with that process, and that anxiety of securing the ultimate end forever person just kind of melts away. You just want to be in the moment. And you find that as you slowly sink deeper and deeper into this person's energy, you just love them more and more and more. And if you already have a person, if this is already someone in your life, it's kind of the same message. I just think that over this period, you're getting to see even more dimensions and even more sides to them, which is very exciting, you know, because you'll never finish getting to know someone, whether it's yourself or someone else, because people shift over time, people change over time. And I really think people's depth and people's layers are infinite. Like, you can just keep peeling them back and learning more and more. So if you already have a person, I think this is a period where you're getting to know them on an even deeper level, getting to see a side of them that you hadn't seen before, or that doesn't come out very often. If you've been with someone for a long time, you could be looking back on how each of you have changed and shifted over time, and that creates a deeper appreciation for each other. There's a feeling of being in love with all of someone, no matter how they may change over the years, no matter what you may uncover when you stumble upon a deeper layer of them. I love every facet of you. I love every dimension of you. Ooh, it's so beautiful. And this is likely a pretty long-term partnership with this 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles tends to deal with longer-term things. And especially this being, I think this is Saturn in Taurus. Like, Saturn gives me that long-term, serious loyal vibe, and Taurus as well. So yeah, this is definitely someone we're getting to know over time. We're deepening our bond with over time. It's not like we fall for someone overnight, but we always feel grounded and comfortable with them, and we just slowly and comfortably ease into deeper and deeper love with them. Oh, it's so beautiful. So at the end here, we have this Nine of Swords, which is honestly kind of a bummer. I think that at some point in this journey, your anxious thoughts will be rearing their head. Happens to the best of us, you know. I just had a moment like that recently where I thought like, oh my God, I'm so peaceful. Like I'm doing so well mentally. And then like anxiety was like, bitch, you thought, and just showed up randomly in the middle of the night when I was feeling very good. I'm like, you just never know. You just never know when these negative thoughts are gonna rear their heads at you. But yes, the Nine of Swords has to do with negative thoughts, anxiety, overthinking, getting in our head. And so for this to be following the Ten of Cups, it looks like what's happening here is that you're becoming happier and happier in this connection. You're becoming really happy with your life overall. And what I see is that you're gonna start to get some intrusive thoughts. Your brain's gonna be like, hey, group one, things are going pretty well for you, eh? Well, I don't know if your brain is Canadian. Things are going pretty well for you, aren't they? Maybe almost too well. Don't you think things seem a little bit too perfect? Would be a shame if everything fell apart. Be a shame if you lost everything. Something bad is bound to happen because things have been going well for so long. That's the kind of intrusive thoughts that are coming up, you know, because the Ten of Cups is like everything's perfect, happily ever after, like we couldn't ask for more. And then overthinking has to come and pee on your parade, has to come and ruin everything. So yeah, unfortunately, I do see some intrusive thoughts popping up for you. It could be, you know, this person is so loyal to you, this person treats you amazingly. And then you have intrusive thoughts coming in like, well, what if they're full of crap? What if it's all a lie? What if they're doing something behind your back? Just negative thoughts. And it's so hard to shake them, right? When they come in. It's interesting that we see this person with an arrow. It almost feels like you're shooting down those negative thoughts one by one. There's a couple different ways that we can deal with intrusive negative thoughts. We can sit with them. We can go deep with them. Why am I having this thought? Is it a deeper wound? We can go from that compassionate shadow work perspective, or we can just choose to redirect our focus, choose to have a more positive thought and entertain that. Or we can tell our brain to shut the fuck up. And I think that for you guys in this case, it's the last one. Because I honestly think no matter how evolved you are, no matter how advanced you are on your spiritual journey, no matter how healed you are, honestly, your brain is going to be a little piece of shit sometimes, okay? Like, I swear, you're just gonna have these intrusive thoughts sometimes. And so I honestly really think for this group, and if I felt like there's a need for deeper shadow work, I would tell you guys. And of course, if you feel like doing deeper shadow work, please do. But I feel like in this case, it's really a matter of you guys just being like, shut the fuck up, brain. Like, you're full of shit. And just recognizing like, this is an intrusive thought. I don't have to entertain it. I choose to believe that everything is fine and everything is beautiful because it is. Shut up, brain. You don't know what you're talking about. I love you, but sometimes you're just full of crap. And that intrusive thought is not you. And that's why you're allowed to talk to it that way, okay? If it was you, you can be more compassionate, but it's just this little, what do you call it? Intruder. Yeah, because it's intrusive. That comes into your brain like, hey, don't you think things are going too well? No, I don't. I think that they're going just as well as they should. Goodbye. Yeah, so I guess I just want you guys to know, if those thoughts do come up, that they are not based in reality, and that you can trust the beauty that you truly do see in front of you. You can trust that everything is going well, because it is. Because you've really taken the time to build a foundation with yourself and to build a foundation with your counterpart. And you have all of the ingredients to be happy together. Aw, so beautiful. So I think that those are all the messages that I'm seeing for you guys. So I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this. And I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can check out my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can check out my pick a card videos on Patreon, which are just like these, except you get to choose the topic for them. You can check out my music channel, which is linked down below. You can also check out my latest song, which is in the description. You can check out my vlog channel, which is KINO Vlogs, and you can check out my merch at kinotarot.com, which features the temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all of that stuff is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. And group number ones, I'm sending so much love to you, to your counterpart, your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Fuchsite and the Dive to You Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about what is next for you in your love life. So we're going to start by looking at these oracle cards here, and this is going to be a check of your overall energy right now, as well as your current energy towards love. So if what I'm describing here does sound like you, then keep watching. But if not, you might want to try listening to a different group. So without further ado, let's get into it. For group number two, we have Imagine, Secret Garden, Sacred Space, Cultivate Your Space, Inner Beauty, Self-Care. We have Resolve with Desert Jasper and Vesta. And Dark Feminine, You are the chaos of creation, you are the alchemist. And then I also have these two oracle cards. So one of these is going to be a message for those of you who don't have a person in mind, and one of these is going to be a message for those of you who do. So for those of you who don't have a person, we have I just needed some time for myself. And for those of you for those of you who do have a person, we have you have the power to end the story however you want. Okay, so I just want to point out the numbers that we have here. We have the numbers 20, 32, and 42, which could be significant. These could be ages of significant people, whether that is you or someone else. These could also be representing dates. So for example, the number 32 could be like March 2nd, February 3rd, something like that. These also reduce to 2, 5, and 6. So those could be important numbers for you. And then here on the Secret Garden card, we have the element of earth and the element of water. So an earth sign or a water sign could be significant to this group. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or this could be indicating that the summer and autumn seasons are going to be significant for this group. So let's start over here with Imagine. I really like this bright, crystal clear sky, it is making me think for this group that the way is clear for you. In terms of manifesting love into your life, I do not see any blockages at this time. And I also think this is a time where things are going to manifest and play out with a lot of resemblance to how you imagined it or how you visualized it. So for this group, visualizing could be a very powerful manifestation method for you. You could just be a person in general who has a very vivid imagination. Like you have really vivid daydreams, or you could have very vivid dreams while you're sleeping. And especially I feel like at this time, your dreams are showing you what is to come in your love life. So if you're having any dreams related to love or related to a specific person, it's almost like you're seeing a glimpse into your future, because there's this message of the way things are going to actually play out, like here in the 3D in your waking life. It is pretty similar, if not identical, to what you have dreamed before or what you have visualized before. I also think that this group has the gift of clairvoyance, which is not necessarily about your love life, but maybe just a confirmation for you that you are clairvoyant. With Secret Garden here, Sacred Space, this is a card that makes me think about a person who is cultivating a safe space within themselves. Someone who is learning to feel safe and comfortable in their body. So to trust their body, their body's ability to keep them alive, to take care of them, to keep them healthy, falling in love with their body on the inside and out, and also coming to a place where you feel safe in your brain, where you feel safe in your mind, which can be difficult. It can be difficult to cultivate a space like that, but I feel like this group is really in the process of doing that. Feeling safe in your body, feeling safe in your mind, and also feeling safe to trust these visions that are being shown to you, because ultimately you trust your intuition, you trust yourself. I think that this group has been building a beautiful, beautiful relationship of trust with yourself. And I think that you are very selective when it comes to not only love, but relationships in general, with who gets to enter into this secret garden. And I think that that is a very good thing. I think you have this gate to your secret garden to protect you. And just because someone comes up, well, you can't knock on a gate, but just because someone comes up and knocks on the door, it doesn't mean that you're going to let them in just like that. I think you have some good guards at the gate of your secret garden to say, what are you going to bring to this garden? Are you a match to the energy that we have cultivated in this garden? Are you a match to the values that we have here at this garden? Are you going to add to the safe energy, to the sacred energy, or are you going to take away from it? Are you here to offer something, or are you only here to take? These are the questions that you'll ask yourself when someone comes knocking at that gate. And I think that that is a very good thing. I think that this is a group that has quite high standards when it comes to the people that they choose to have around them in their life, because the feeling is like, I've cultivated this beautiful peace and this beautiful self-love, and I seek to only maintain this or to add to it. Like, I don't want to let any energy in that's going to start messing this up or taking away from it, because this inner peace is very, very important to me. This confidence that I've built up is very important to me. And I also think because your intuition is very strong, you can tell who is going to add to this, or who is going to help preserve this, or who is going to take away from this. So being guarded like this and having high standards like this is a very big act of self-love from you. And there's also a feeling of, I'm happy here on my own, and I would rather be alone than be with someone who will mess up this energy that I have cultivated. You know, I'm very fine letting an opportunity for love pass by or cutting off a connection. Like, I'm not afraid of being alone. So I'm okay to do these things if it means protecting my secret garden and keeping it beautiful and keeping it pure. Wow. And we have resolve here. And Vesta, this is an asteroid. It's an asteroid that appears in our birth chart. And it talks about the things that we dedicate ourselves to, the things that we focus on, and the things that we commit to. And while I usually feel like this can be something outside of ourselves, I think for your case, this resolve and this Vesta is really talking about like a fierce commitment that you have chosen to have for yourself. This represents the way that you have chosen to show up for yourself. I think you've reached a place where your peace and your well-being is a very, very high priority for you, where it may not have been before. Because I think a lot of us growing up and just moving through the world, we get taught to disregard our own intuition. We get taught that our needs are not that important. And so reclaiming that fierce like self-love, self-confidence, and self-prioritizing, I'm hearing it's almost like an act of rebellion for you, for everything that you had been taught or told by people in your life, for everything that you had been conditioned to do. It's almost like you're giving a middle finger and being like, no, get out of my secret garden, get out of my energy, out of my safe space. You know, with this dark feminine, this is about endings being a beginning. And this is about alchemizing. Some of you guys maybe went through some sort of energetic purge. And I think that many of you guys as well have been committed to your shadow work. And if anyone knows this, you guys know that the journey of healing is not pretty, you know? It is not just about like meditating and being love and light and focusing on positives. Sometimes you have to, what is it called? You have to sludge through the mud and you have to fight scary demons, and you come out with scratches and bruises. You come out with tears streaming down your face. The healing journey can be freaking ugly. And I think if anyone knows that, it's this group. And it's like you've been through the shadow, you've been through the difficult times so that you can have this beautiful, clear space inside of you now. There's also a feeling some of you guys have reinvented yourselves. It's almost like your life fell apart so that you could create a completely new one, or you tore your life apart or tore yourself apart so that you could create a completely new you. You're like the caterpillar that completely dissolved and completely lost its form and went through a period of what the fuck am I? What the fuck is life? So that you could put the pieces back together into something entirely different. There's this feeling that you alchemized yourself. You alchemized your whole life. You guys will start to see that your reality is very different from before if you haven't already. And for many of you, your reality is exactly as you dream it. It's exactly as you imagine it. Exactly how it plays out in your visualizations, in your daydreams. And like you fought to get to this place. It's really beautiful to see your strength and to see your transformation. You guys have reached such a level of maturity and wisdom in your journey. And you will attract a mature and wise partner who respects your garden. Your garden, you know, it's the metaphor for your body, your mind, your spirit, the place that exists within you. And when you interact with someone, you allow them to step into this garden and see your world. You're attracting someone who respects this garden and all of the effort that went into creating it, the sacredness of all the life that exists there, the sacredness of all the colors. and who seeks to only preserve and or add to this beautiful garden. You're bringing in a partnership of respect, of trust, of emotional maturity. So for those of you who do not have a person in mind, we have I just needed some time for myself, which I think it makes a lot of sense for the energies. I just saw 1313. Oh my gosh, and that's the number of death. By the way, Death by Melanie Martinez, such a good song. Such a good song. Anyway, yeah, it's like you needed time to transform. You needed time to reinvent yourself. You may find that for those of you who have been like waiting for a new person to come in, waiting to meet someone, and it hasn't been happening, one of the reasons that could have been put off is because you were going through this transformation, and as a result, the types of connections you would look for or the types of people you would be attracted to could have changed significantly. So it was almost like your higher self saying, let's just go through this transformation, let's reinvent ourselves, and then let's see what type of partner we want to bring in. Like, I'm not going to bring someone in yet, because imagine like we bring in someone, you like them, you're attracted to them, you establish a relationship with them, and then you go through this whole reinvention, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm not attracted to you anymore. Like, it would be a waste of time for everyone involved. It will be difficult. So let's just go through this first and work from there and see what type of partner we want to let in. And perhaps your counterpart as well needed to have some time on their own, needed to have some time to reevaluate and reinvent as well. And then for those of you who do have a person on your mind, you have the power to end the story however you want. So for those of you who do have a person in mind, I think that they will be not only very respectful of the transformation that you're going through, but admire you for this process that you've gone through of building up a new self, a new you. For those of you who are in a kind of uncertain situation with a person, perhaps a kind of sticky situation, it looks like they're waiting for you to have the last word, or they're telling you that the ball is in your court. So if you're waiting for someone to make a decision, to come forward, to take action, they are actually waiting for you. They're saying it's up to you, or they want it to be up to you. Yeah. So hopefully by now you can tell if this is your group or not. So we're going to be moving into the tarot now. And for this part, we're going to look at a chronological series of events in your love life. And we're also going to look at bottom of the deck energy, and that bottom of the deck energy will be about your counterpart, or what your counterpart wants you to know right now. So like I mentioned in the intro, if there is a specific time frame that you want to know about in your love life, like you want to know about the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever it is, just keep that time frame in mind as I'm pulling the cards. And of course, if there's a specific person, keep them in mind as well. Okay, I'm gonna give this one more shuffle. Okay, what can group number 2 expect to happen next in their love life? We have Justice, the Magician, the Two of Swords, the Devil, the Knight of Pentacles, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot. Okay, so the Chariot represents energy about your counterpart or what they want you to know right now. And this is a really beautiful energy to get, honestly, because first of all, the Chariot makes me think of yin and yang, because we have, usually we have two creatures that are pulling the Chariot forward, and there is like a white one and a black one. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like a white one with black details and a black one with white details. So yes, it's like the idea of yin and yang. So I do think that you will be attracting someone, or you are with someone who is the yin to your yang. It could be a sort of opposites attract situation, a situation where your energy complements each other. Your differences make you well-rounded. They make you more full. Your strengths complement theirs, your weakness, it's kind of weird to say your weaknesses complement theirs, but like your strengths will make up for their weaknesses and vice versa. But what is really beautiful about the Chariot is that the Chariot can move forward because the two creatures are moving forward together. If only one creature was moving forward, the Chariot would just like go in circles, right? And the moving creature would get tired out. But if both are working together to move forward, then the Chariot can move forward. So I think your counterpart is showing you, like, we are both going to move forward together. We're both at the same level. We're both ready. Like I mentioned with this Imagine card, I don't see any blockages for you at this time. So if you have experienced blockages and obstacles in your love life, I think the first thing you need to know is that they are clearing, and they're clearing pretty fast, because the Chariot is a speedy card. It's speedy, and it talks about forward motion and progress. So for those of you who already do have a person in mind, I think you are making quite a bit of progress with them during this time. And the reason you're able to do that is because both of you want to move forward. Both of you are taking the necessary steps to move forward. It's like a mutual thing. We both want this. We are both going in the same direction. And so we're going to make a lot of progress. We're on the same page right now. We're helping each other to move forward. So you could be moving to the next level of your relationship with your person very soon, or just making a lot of progress with them. Like, if there's been an obstacle that keeps coming up in your relationship, or a certain area where it's just really hard to get through to each other and understand each other and communicate openly, you're making a lot of progress in that area. For those of you who don't have a specific person in mind, I think that once you do meet this person, things are going to progress quite quickly, which maybe is something that was scary for you in the past. But there's this feeling of, when it feels right in my intuition, I just know. When it's right, I just know. And I think you'll just find that things naturally progress quickly, because it feels so natural, and it feels so good, and it feels so safe. I don't know if you guys resonate with like being the masculine counterpart or the feminine counterpart. There was a feminine energy coming up here for you guys, but it looks like in this card that, there's actually, this is really cute. It looks here like the masculine is taking the lead. There's like a really healthy masculine in this situation, because they're able to take the lead, they're able to lead their feminine, but they're also not afraid to, you know, be vulnerable to their feminine and seek comfort from their feminine and snuggle up to their feminine. It's like a very beautiful, well-rounded masculine energy. So maybe you guys are the feminine and your partner is the masculine, which has nothing to do with your actual gender. It's just the way that you guys are coming through. But it seems like the masculine in this situation has really embraced the multiple facets of them. So they're not afraid to be like the strong, tough leader, and they're also not afraid to be the soft, sensitive lover, which is beautiful. You know, we all have those two sides within us, and I think you and your counterpart are striking a really beautiful balance, and that's kind of what the Chariot is all about. If you're already with your person, I think they're becoming a lot more romantic and a lot more affectionate at this time, or you are bringing in someone who is very, very romantic. Like they definitely don't shy away from the lovey-dovey stuff, from the mushy stuff. I think this is someone who is very affectionate towards you. Very demonstrative, I think the word is. Like they're definitely not shy. I know that this is Cancer energy, and I know that sometimes Cancers can be shy, but I think it's more so the sentimental nature of Cancer, the sensitive, sentimental, and protective nature of Cancer. I don't get the feeling that this is a shy person. And if you're already with someone, it could be like certain things that they used to shy away from, like certain topics of discussion or certain displays of affection that they used to shy away from. It seems like they're really coming out of their shell, and they're just not like shy about those things anymore. Maybe all of a sudden they're not shy about PDA, or they're not shy to like display their love for you in front of friends and family, or they're not shy to talk about their insecurities, or they're not shy to express themselves physically in some way. Yeah, it looks like we're just coming out of our shell and feeling quite comfortable around each other. I think that the energy that you are kind of in is like, you have this gate for protection, right? This is like the bouncer, the bouncer at the edge of your energetic field. The bouncer determines who gets let in. But once you are in this secret garden, it's like, my house is your house. So you're like, I will love fully. I will be fiercely loyal. I will open up to you if I deem that you are worthy and that you are safe to enter this garden. So, you know, back to that Cancer energy, that hard shell of the crab, it's there for protection. But once you make it past that hard shell, you have this sweet and soft and squishy inside. So I think it's a balance, right? Love fully, love with your whole heart, love without inhibition, but just look out for yourself and be selective. But I mean, whoever you're with has definitely passed this test and is definitely trustworthy. Interesting that there's a motorcycle appearing on both cards. I don't know if like you have a motorcycle or this person has a motorcycle, or maybe the next time you see this person, you'll be in their vehicle, like in their car or something like that. But that's kind of an interesting repetition. Also, this card came out another time when I was using this deck, and it does make me think of a very well-dressed person. So your counterpart could be very well-dressed, and I think is very much your type, like visually and aesthetically. And there's something about their physical body or their appearance that makes you feel safe in some way. So I don't know, maybe they're like tall and that makes you feel safe, or like they're, I don't know, strong or something like that. So now we actually have to go through these in order. So let's see what's going on here. We are starting off with Justice, which I think makes a lot of sense. This is about cultivating balance in your life. Feeling balanced, harmonious, and at peace within yourself. Some of you guys could be releasing a karmic partner. So you could be cutting off ties with a karmic partner, someone who was just not appreciating you or not reciprocating, not making you feel good, making you feel like a priority. We could be cutting ties with someone like that. Or finally getting over someone who hasn't been in our life. You know, finally getting over an ex, finally being able to forgive that person who hurt us, finally getting closure. There is a feeling of closing off cycles like this. You should also know that anyone who has hurt you in your past, they are getting their karma. They are learning their lesson. I think this is indicating you bringing in someone who is a match to you, because this is about the scales being in balance. This is about equalness, fairness, reciprocity. So at this time, you're bringing in someone who is really an energetic match to you, who brings equal energy and efforts and value to the table. If you're already with someone or already have someone in mind, I think that you're going to start to feel that equality much more so in the energetic exchange between the two of you. And also, this is your spirit guides just reminding you that you deserve true love and that you deserve good things. You have a good heart, you have pure intentions. And even if you've made mistakes in the past, or whatever has happened in the past, it doesn't make you any less worthy of experiencing true love in this present moment. So it's about striking balance within yourself and attracting someone who is an energetic match to you. With the Magician here, yeah, you're manifesting through visualization for sure. And you're manifesting things that you have seen play out in your dreams. You could be going through some kind of physical glow up during this time as well. Just this person like doing their makeup and having all this makeup laid out. It looks like they're really enjoying their appearance, feeling more confident. So through this transformation, you could be going through a physical transformation as well. Or as you start to develop feelings or fall more in love with this person, it could just make you more beautiful, like you have a glow about you. But yeah, I think that this transformation is going to reach all levels of you. Like it starts within and then you really start to see it outwardly as well. And people will notice, like people who are already in your life, they'll tell you like something's different about you. You seem more confident. You seem more radiant. You seem more beautiful. It's like as within, so without. I also think there's going to be increased communication at this time. So if you already have someone, you're going to be talking a lot more during this time. And you know, with this being about reciprocation, it could be that communication levels are balancing out. So for example, if you were always the person to initiate conversation, or if you find that like you're sending a lot of long messages and then the replies are just like kind of short and few and far between, you're going to start to see that leveling out. You know what I mean? So the amount of times that you would initiate a conversation, the amount of times that they would initiate a conversation is pretty much the same. And like the amount that you say to each other is starting to become the same. There's like a leveling out of sorts. If you're bringing someone new, manifesting someone new into your life, you know, we spoke about things moving quickly. I think that right from the get-go, you're going to be talking like nonstop. You're just going to be like texting back and forth all the time. You could be even having phone calls. You have so much to talk about. I think your intellectual connection is going to be really, really strong because we have a lot of air energy in this part here. So very frequent communication. If you're already with someone, I see increased levels of communication, and also there's an emphasis on equality between like who initiates the conversation and like how much are we talking to each other. It's not going to feel one-sided at all. It's going to feel very reciprocated, and the energy is just going to really flow nicely to the point where you don't even have to think about it, you know? I feel like when things are more one-sided, we think about that a lot, right? Like, oh, I already double texted them, or like, oh, I'm always the one to start the conversation. But when it's healthy and balanced, we don't even have to think about that because it just feels good. I think that's also a change that's happening, is that you realize that you don't have to analyze what's going on in your relationships when it just feels good to you. And if you were in that energy before of analyzing, like, who initiated this, who asked who on a date, who invited who, how many times did I text them, you know, when you're in that kind of analysis mode, it's usually because there's some kind of imbalance and you're picking up on that. And there's this message for you guys that when things are flowing equally, it will just feel good and you won't even have to think about it. Same thing, like after you go on a date with this person, you won't be thinking about like, oh, was it weird that I said that? Was I talking too much? Was I not talking enough? Did I ask too many questions? Did they think it was weird when I did blah, blah, blah? Like, you wouldn't even have to think about it because it just felt so good. So it's like the better you feel, the more in the flow you are, you'll find that your analytical mind starts to go down. There's also a message of you're not naturally an overthinker. You're not naturally insecure. Maybe for some time you identified like that, but I'm hearing that it was more about your circumstances and maybe even about the person that you're with. And an example that's coming to my mind is someone worrying about like, oh, they haven't replied in X amount of hours, they haven't replied in X amount of days, I wonder where they really are, I wonder who they're really with, I wonder if they're telling the truth. And you know, you have all these thoughts in your mind. You may be thinking, I'm such an overthinker, I'm such an overanalyzer. And your guides are like, are you? Or is this person just making you insecure because they're not showing up and they're not reassuring you and they're not proving that they're trustworthy? It's like you're putting the blame on yourself for worrying and wondering and overthinking, when in reality, it's just that a safe place was not created for you. Like you were not given the circumstances to feel secure. And you shouldn't have blamed yourself. And when you're with the right person, you'll find that that kind of like analytical mind and those worries just go away. You're like, oh, I trust them. I know where they are. I know what they're doing because they reassured me, because they've told me the truth and I've seen that and I know that I don't have to worry. I know that if this person doesn't reply for a few hours, like they're just busy and they're still thinking about me and I don't have to worry because they've shown me consistently that they care about me. So it's like your worries in the past didn't just come from you being a worrier or an overthinker. You know, there was a reason for them. Like someone you were with was not reassuring you. And you didn't need to like blame yourself for that. There's a message like that that is coming through. And you'll see how good it feels and how good things flow when you're with the right person. So, okay. I feel like I'm trying to go through like a series of events, but then all these other messages are coming up. So we see increased communication happening. I also feel like there will be a moment for you guys of indecision or confusion and kind of falling back to old patterns. And in this moment, you need to be reminded that healing takes time and it's not linear. That's something I see a lot with the Knight of Pentacles. It's like a journey where we're slowly but surely getting ahead, but it may not always look like that. And so even if we're healing from negative thought patterns, we may fall back to them sometimes. It's interesting that it looks like someone's looking at an old picture with the devil, falling back to old patterns. So there's a couple ways that I can interpret this. For one, even though you are with someone who is trustworthy and makes you feel secure, you could still sometimes doubt their intentions, or you could still sometimes doubt your judgment because of painful experiences that you've had in the past with untrustworthy people. You could still sometimes fall back into that energy of doubt and worry. And that's okay. I feel like this 2 and this 2 of Swords, it's indicating like mentally going back and forth. So sometimes you might feel very good and comfortable and secure. Other times you may feel insecure and worried. And you may go back and forth like that for a while before you finally settle into your comfortable and secure energy. And I think your guides just want you to know that that's okay. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that this healing takes time, and like unconditioning your brain, like out of that fearful, insecure energy, it takes time. And I think that the person you're with will really understand. I don't think that they'll be offended. I don't think that they'll take it personally. You know, they'll understand. It's like, it's not that I doubt you. It's not that I distrust you. It's just that I have these trust issues from the past. This could also be flipped the other way, where the person that you're with could be going through things like this sometimes. There could be moments where they doubt the connection or doubt you. And it's not that they personally doubt you. It's just that they still have that old conditioning to be fearful, to never get too comfortable because of past relationships. It could be both of you that are going through this as well. It could definitely be something that's happening on both sides. And I think there's just a message here to be really patient with yourselves and patient with each other as you overcome these fears and insecurities. Now, there is another interpretation that's coming through, which may be for fewer of you. But, you know, we spoke about cutting off a karmic partner. Some of you guys maybe were previously with someone who like you really thought was your soulmate, your twin, whatever it might be. But then you made the decision to move on from them, like for your mental health, for your own well-being. And there could be this period where even when you're with this new person, or even when you're with your current partner, your mind kind of goes back to that other person sometimes. You may feel confused about that. You may feel guilty about that. But even then, there's no reason to feel guilty. Those past memories, those thoughts might come back sometimes. But it's almost just like, and this was kind of something in group number 1 as well. It's almost just like a pattern that your brain has, because it takes time for your brain to adjust to the new circumstances. And sometimes just old memories, old things come up and rear their heads again. But I think that this group, you are committed to moving forward. You are committed to your current person or your new person. You just may feel sometimes like confused, like, why is this past person coming up? Why are these past memories coming up? But I feel like it will get weaker and weaker over time as you keep moving forward with the current person and the new person, because there's some karmic partner that we're just like, we're completely moving on from. Like, their influence will not be in our life anymore, but it may take some time. And so we just need to be like accepting and understanding of ourselves during that time. And I honestly don't see past memories or past pain from previous relationships putting a strain on this current one. I actually see them as opportunities to be vulnerable with each other, opportunities to get to know each other more, get to know each other's past and story more, and support each other even more. You know, so if you were to bring up like I'm having this issue in the relationship because of this past experience I had with an ex. It's not going to be like, well, why are you thinking about your ex? Or like, yeah, but I'm not like your ex. Why can't you trust me? Like, I don't see that happening. I see a dynamic where we're very understanding of each other, and like we can't control our memories, we can't control our trauma, we can't control, well, we can eventually control the direction our thoughts go in, but it's not overnight. And, you know, we don't choose to have these negative things resurface, but we can choose to overcome them day after day, and we can choose to go through that together. And I think communication is really, really important. So the person that you're with, I think through complete openness and understanding and through a lot of communication, you're helping each other heal from past wounds, from insecurities that you maybe picked up from previous relationships. You're helping each other get over things that you maybe never thought you could, to be free from, I want to say, like mental prisons that you never thought you could be free from. And I know that it's possible because I've seen it happen with myself. Like things in relationships that had made me insecure for years. When you commit to yourself, I think it's a combination of committing to yourself and committing to your healing and also being with the right person. You can heal things that you never thought possible, that you just thought were a part of you. And it's like that example of just thinking, oh, I'm just insecure. Oh, I'm just an overthinker. Like, no, that's not you. That's not your nature. You can overcome that, and you will, with the right person, with the chariot where both creatures are committed to moving forward. So I see a partnership for you with a lot of healing and like just closing off unwanted cycles from the past and not letting anything infiltrate your beautiful sacred space. Like you're building a beautiful garden together. Like we're committed to peace here. We're committed to love and acceptance here. And I think like knowing that your partner wants the best for you and knowing that you're always safe, it can make that healing journey a lot less scary, because you're like, I'm sorry, this is such dumb wording, but like I have a buddy to go through this scary journey with. And I know that we both want a happy future and we both want the best for each other. So as long as we're together, like there's nothing to be afraid of. And there's that feeling of like nothing is taken personally, which is interesting. But yeah, so what's next for Love and You is a whole lot of healing, a whole lot of trust, a whole lot of communication. Wow. So group number 2s, I think those are all the messages for you. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can find my pick a card videos on Patreon, which are just like these, except you get to choose the topic for them. You can check out my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that was an original song. And you can also check out my latest release, which will be linked in the description. And you can check out my vlog channel at KINO Vlogs and my merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. We have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. Group number 2s, I'm sending so much love to you, to your counterpart, your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number threes. So if you guys chose the Carnelian and the Soul Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about what is coming next in your love life. So we're going to start off by taking a look at these oracle cards, and these are going to represent your current energy overall, as well as your current energy towards love. So if what I'm describing here does sound like you and what you're currently experiencing, then keep watching. But if not, you may want to try listening to a different group. So let's take a look at what you guys have. For group number 3, we have Higher Power, Fuchsia and Feldspar, Inner Child, Innocence, Self-Awareness, Cognizance with Emerald and Mercury, and Divine Union. Wow, destiny is at play. You have been brought together in union for growth, deep healing, lessons, expansion, and love. And literally, as I'm reading this card to you, the camera went to 111. So that could be a number you guys are seeing a lot. We also have 28, which reduces to 1. So 1 seems to be an important number for this group. I also have these 2 cards. So this one is going to be a message for those of you who do not have a particular person in mind, and this is going to be a message for those of you who do. So for those of you who don't have a person, we have the message, it was just a small bump in the road. Okay, it doesn't want to focus, that's okay. And for those of you who do have a person, we have the message, I crave your kisses. Aw, so your person is craving your kisses right now. Very nice. All right, let's get into these. I did want to point something out that's kind of cool, or I think it's kind of cool. On the Inner Child card, we have the elements of earth and air present. And then with Mercury, Mercury is related to the zodiac signs of Gemini and Virgo, which are in earth. Wait, Gemini is an air sign, Virgo is an earth sign. So I thought it was kind of cool that we have that repetition of air and earth going on here. So a significant person in your life could be an earth sign or an air sign, or they could be a Gemini or a Virgo. I'm also noticing 4/28, that could be a date like April 28th. That could be a significant date coming up, or someone's birthday, or around the time that you met or will meet someone special. And 28 and 32 can also be ages. So you or a significant person could be 28 or 32, or something important is going to happen when you are at those ages. Oh my gosh, that's kind of cool. Like those are 4 apart, and then we have 4 here. But anyway, let's get into the meanings of each of these cards. So if this is your group, if group number 3 is your group, what I can say for sure is that at this time, you have felt more connected to a higher power than before, or you feel more connected than usual right now to a higher power. It could also be that right now you are consciously seeking to deepen your connection with a higher power, whether that is your spirit guides, the universe, angels, ascended masters, deities, your ancestors. This group, like a characteristic of this group, is that you feel more connected to a higher power right now, or you are consciously seeking to establish or deepen a connection with like a certain higher being. The other thing that is characteristic of this group is that you have been feeling lately that there are weird coincidences happening in your life, or synchronicities happening in your life. And there's an overall feeling that this current stage of your life, it feels very destined. It feels like this higher power is trying to bring something to your attention and trying to lead you somewhere. We even have destiny is at play on this card here. So If you feel this connection to a higher power, if you feel like there's a lot of synchronicities happening around you and things feel destined right now, then this is your group. With inner child here, wow, maybe your inner child had a lot of divine wisdom and you're reconnecting to that. But what came to my mind first with this card is that the person you're with, or the person you will be attracting into your life, if you don't have a person yet, is, and maybe it sounds kind of strange, but it's someone who is very similar to how you were as a child. So like if you were very chatty as a child, this person will be very chatty. If you were very funny as a child, this person will be very funny. Or maybe you really liked math as a child and this person is a mathematician or a math teacher or something like that. There's something about them that reminds you of like the good times of your childhood or your childhood self, or it's someone whom your inner child would be very happy to know that you ended up with. They would feel very proud and they would feel very safe with this person. And I see you with someone who really brings your inner child out. So it's a playful connection. There's no inhibition. There's no judgment. Childlike energy feels very like carefree and magical to me and very like curious. I'm also noticing the repeating Fs. So F could be one of the initials of your person. It could also be that there's something about you and your person that is the same, like same age, your name starts with the same letter, you could be the same sign, for example, born in the same month, or something like that. I don't know why I feel like I'm about to space out right now, but anyway, something like that, same age, same sign, same letter in your name. With two Fs, it could be like your two feminines, for example. But yeah, there's something similar about you guys. And with self-awareness as well, I think that you guys have reached a level of self-awareness with cognizance as well. I think you've reached a point in your journey where you do know yourself very well. You know your strengths and you don't downplay your strengths. You know your weaknesses and you don't sugarcoat or run away from your weaknesses. It's like you're just very honest with yourself about who you are. You have a very good objective view of yourself, and I think that really helps you to identify a good partner. I think if you don't feel this energy yet, you will feel it very soon. But I see it's like a surge of motivation and drive that is coming to you, where you have the energy to make your thoughts and ideas a reality, or you have the insight to create an actionable plan to make your thoughts a reality. If you have an idea but you don't know how to materialize it, you will get the plan or the blueprint very soon, and you'll also have the energy like to take the concrete steps to make it happen. With cognizance here, you guys could have the gift of claircognizance, so you could know things about your love life or know things about your person just through psychic insight, not through anything you've seen in the outside world or any information that you've gained through your senses. You could also be capable of telepathic communication with your person, whether you have met them yet or not, whether you even know who they are yet or not. I do feel that you are in constant communication. Like they send messages to you straight through your brain, so to speak, straight through your internal dialogue. They may share this message with you a lot. This might pop up in your head from them, pop up in the world around you from them. I do feel like you are communicating with the higher self of your person quite a bit through signs that you see around you and through messages that you receive like in your head, in your internal dialogue. I also feel like this person is not far away. Like even if you haven't met them yet, there's a feeling of they are not far away. And I mean that in terms of physical proximity. For example, this could be someone who works in the same building as you, but like for different companies, but you're like in the same big building, you've just never crossed paths before. And then one day you like end up on the elevator together, or you always commute on the same train every day. You've just never sat in the same car and seen each other. There's just a feeling of I'm not that far away, I'm close by. I just saw 1010. So yeah, you're probably also going to start seeing a lot of ones before this person comes into your life, or before you move to the next level with your current person. But I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. If you're already with someone, you're definitely in a divine union with a divine counterpart, or this is the love that is coming to you. You've been brought together in union for growth, deep healing, lessons, expansion, and love. Yeah, I literally don't really have anything to add to this, because especially in a reading about what's next in love, this is very straightforward. It is a divine union that is coming to you. I just noticed too, Emerald is the birthstone of Taurus, and that date that I said before, 4/28, like April 28th, that is Taurus. I mean, it's in Taurus season. Where is my... I have this guy who is Emerald, and he's very pretty, so maybe we'll keep him with us. No, we will. We will keep him with us. So these messages that we have here, for those of you who don't have a person yet, we have this message. It was just a small bump in the road. And I think it's very interesting that when I was trying to hold up this card, it didn't want to focus. Because small bump in the road, it's like a little obstacle. Maybe we lost focus at one point. Maybe you guys got distracted from your goals, or distracted from your purpose at some point, or maybe you even got distracted from a connection. And that's okay, because with higher power on your side, we can always, you know, bring your focus back to where it's meant to be. So maybe you guys were working towards a goal for yourself, and then you kind of fell off the wagon. You weren't really focusing on it as much as you should have. And your guides, this higher power, is helping to redirect you now. And they're saying like, it's okay. We all lose focus sometimes. We all fall off the wagon sometimes. We can always get you back. And that's really important to remember. It's like, I think a lot of us are afraid of like going down the wrong path or straying from what is meant for us. But the divine, if we only ask for their help, they can redirect us in like 2 seconds. And you'll never reach a point where you're unable to get back. They can always bring you back. Nothing is ever lost forever, is basically what I want to say. I also got the feeling, maybe for some of you guys, if your person hasn't come into your life yet, they maybe lost focus, or they maybe got lost on the way to you or something. So if you're wondering like, where the heck is my person? They maybe experienced a little bump in the road on the way to you. Maybe there's been some delays. For example, maybe you kept seeing in readings, like this person is going to come to you in 1 month, in 1 month, in 1 month. And then 1 month went by and you're like, what the heck? Where are they? They maybe, you know, just as an analogy, they hit a lot of red lights on the way to you, or there was like big traffic and they're still on their way. Just a small delay happened. I hope that that makes sense. And for some, maybe a bit less, but for some of you, I also got the feeling you may meet one more or a couple more people before you meet this person. Even just like going on one date or going on a few dates before you meet the person you'll enter into a divine union with, just for like some last lessons for the road, or some last experiences or insights that you will need on the next part of your journey. That's just for some of you, but I wanted to mention that. And then yeah, this is also quite self-explanatory for those of you who do have a person in mind. They crave your kisses. They want to be close to you. They want to be like this with you right now. There's a lot of physical attraction. There's a lot of affection. Yeah. What more can I say? So I think we'll move on to your tarot deck now, the Soul Tarot. And so in this part of the reading, we're gonna see like a timeline of your love life starting from now. And then we're also going to take the bottom of the deck energy, and that's going to represent your counterpart or what your counterpart would like you to know right now. And so, like I said in the intro, I'm not reading for a particular time frame, but if you do have one in mind, just keep it in mind as I'm shuffling. So like if you want to know about your love life in the next 6 months, just keep that in your mind, like 6 months, yeah. And if you have a person in mind, of course, keep your focus on them as well while I'm shuffling. What can group number 3 expect next in their love life? We are starting off with the 2 of Wands. We have the 5 of Swords. Okay. The King of Wands. Okay, pretty specific message coming through. We have the Empress. And the Wheel of Fortune. And then at the, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So it is coming through very clearly for this group that you are going to work with this person in some way or collaborate with them on some kind of project. So for those of you who don't have a person yet, you are going to meet them because you will be put together in some kind of partnership. It feels like before you enter into a romantic partnership, you're gonna get put together in some different kind of partnership. For example, getting assigned by your boss to work together on something, or maybe you're a freelancer and you get a job on a big project and then they're working on the project too and you have to communicate with them. It's something like that. Or maybe you're taking dance lessons and then you get partnered with them to learn a dance for 2 together. So if it's a new person, you will get put together in a partnership that's not romantic in nature before you enter into the romantic partnership. Now, if you already have someone or you're already with someone, it seems that the next step in your timeline is that you are going to join forces to create something, or you're going to start a project together. I don't know why, but for some reason, like renovation work is coming through really, really strongly. So maybe if you already live with your person, you're going to be like, I don't know, renovating your home together, or maybe you're building a house together or something like that. Maybe you're going on a trip to a foreign country together where neither of you speak the language and neither of you have any idea what's going on. And so you have to like partner up to make it through and navigate stuff. But yeah, you're collaborating on something for sure. It could also be a business that you're working on together, some kind of art, creative project that you're working on together. But that is for sure. Same with the 3 of Pentacles. This is literally like working together and collaboration. And so that's definitely what this person wants you to know the most, is that this is coming up. And I can also see that your counterpart is extremely hardworking, driven, ambitious, but a bit stubborn. And I think both of you might be a bit stubborn, or maybe you're just very particular about your vision. But what I see with the 5 of Swords coming up next is that as you are put into this partnership, or as you start collaborating together, you will butt heads. The 5 of Swords is about disagreements. Like we're not seeing eye to eye, we're not on the same page, and we are arguing. We're arguing about stuff. So there will be some disagreements at first. And it's not necessarily that you're incompatible as people. I just think it's that you have different visions for whatever you're working on. You have different opinions, because with the King of Wands here, I feel like both of you just have a really strong creative vision, and you have very particular tastes, and you also don't like to compromise, and you don't like to be told what to do. The King of Wands very much wants to do things his way, and he has a very strong will and a very strong sense of like how he wants things to be. Like, it's my creative vision. So you may even be someone who feels like you don't work well in groups. I feel like that, and collaborations stress me out. But I think it's good to put myself in those situations. So yeah, I think, yeah, Spirit's like putting the two of you together so that you can learn to like compromise and learn to work through your differences. And the image of like a rom-com keeps coming to my mind, where it's like these two people get put together at work and they keep arguing about this project that they have to work on together. Like, no, you're dumb. Like, it should be this way. Like, I'm more experienced than you. I know what I'm talking about. And they're like bickering about this project, but then they're like, they end up falling in love. Like, doesn't that kind of sound like a rom-com? The enemies to lovers. You're not enemies. I'm being dramatic, but I just see that you will butt heads with your vision, or it could be that the nature of what you're doing is kind of stressful, and so you get irritable. For example, in the example of you and your partner renovating a house, like, sure, you could be disagreeing about the vision that you have for the house, like what color you want to paint the bathroom, or like where the light fixture should, well, I don't know if you can actually choose where the light fixture goes, but which light fixture you should buy or something like that. Yes, you could be butting heads about those things, but it could also just be that you're so exhausted and stressed out, because renovating a house is no joke. It's no easy feat. And so you just get kind of stressed, and maybe you snap a little bit, you know, or you have a tone sometimes because you're just like, oh, can you just, like, I know what I'm doing. Stop breathing over my neck. Or like, I already told you I'm going to Home Depot later. Yeah, like stuff like that. I just saw 2222, by the way. So, I mean, it's a little bit of butting heads that is coming next. And I think maybe like your stubbornness or pride is being challenged, or like your ability to compromise and work together is being challenged in some way. But with the Empress, like, the thing to remember is that it has nothing to do with your personal compatibility. It's just like the nature of your vision, or the nature of the thing you're working on. But what I see with the Empress is that you do have unconditional love for each other. And at the end of the day, you can be patient and understanding of each other, and you can create something very, very beautiful. For some of you, this may even have to do with parenting, because the Empress is about motherhood or parenthood. And I know it sounds weird to say you're collaborating on, actually, maybe it doesn't. You can collaborate on parenthood. I guess I'm more used to hearing that word as like, I'm collaborating on a project, but you can collaborate on parenting and like raising a child. But yeah, for some of you, it could be raising a child. And so there may be some things that you don't see eye to eye on, or just, you know, you're stressed and exhausted, and it could put kind of a strain on your, not on the relationship, but on your interactions. But because of the unconditional love you have for each other, you will figure it out. So I guess what's next in love is a bit of a challenge that ultimately brings you closer, that makes you better communicators, that makes you better at finding a solution where everyone is happy, that makes you better at hearing each other out, and also challenges like, what is it? It's better. I know that there's an expression for this and I just can't remember it right now, but like, it's more important to, being right is not important. Like, it's more important to maintain the love and maintain the peace than to just be right all the time. And yeah, I think for one or both of you, a little bit of like our pride or stubbornness is being tested. But what results at the end is drastically improved communication, respect for the other's values, respect for the other's process, admiration for each other, and a deep support for each other. And that will come through a little bit of butting heads. If you agreed on absolutely everything all the time, you would not grow from each other and you would not learn anything from each other. It would be like living in an echo chamber, like where you're never challenged. And so I do think, yeah, you're being brought together for growth, for lessons, for expansion. And it's often this like friction that causes expansion. So you'll come out of this closer than ever before. You'll be like, wow, that renovation really brought us closer. And tough times really do bring you closer. Yeah, that's so cool. I wonder what it is that you guys are going to be working on. Like if it's at work, if it's at home, if it's at school, if it's something creative. Very interesting. And yeah, then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So everything is going to turn out in your favor. The divine is going to be on your side. I feel like this whole process is orchestrated to bring you guys closer together and to really understand how the other person's brain works. Not only to understand it, but to gain a deep like respect with it, and a deep respect for it, and a deep intimacy with it. Yeah, it's bringing you very, very close. That's super cool. I feel like this group in particular, the message was just like very specific and just like, this is how it's gonna go. Boom, 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 boom. But how exciting to come into your divine union, or to be in your divine union already with your person. I think you guys, if you're already with someone, they are a very wonderful person. If you're not with someone yet, it is a very wonderful person coming in. And of course, it's going to be so exciting to see the finished product or whatever it is you guys are doing together, and to reap the rewards from it. You know, with the Empress, you are making something very, very beautiful, and even generating abundance from what you make together. So it's like this beautiful thing where the process itself is the reward because it brings you closer. And the results is also the reward. The money, the recognition, whatever it is. Wow, that's so cool. Such a beautiful reading. I actually think that those are all the messages. And your group is a bit shorter than the other ones, but I just feel like a lot of the energy was very in your face and self-explanatory, and just like, this is what it means. So yeah. Group number 3s, I think that those are all the messages I'm seeing. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can find my pick a card videos on Patreon, which are just like these, except for you get to choose the topic for them. You can check out my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. And you can also check out my latest release there, which is linked in the description. You can check out my vlog channel at KINO Vlogs, and finally you can check out my merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. And group number 3s, I'm sending you so much love, lots of love to your counterpart, your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Also, I just saw 2929, which reduces to 1111. Okay, bye.